Dear students, I have taught you about the definition of an implicit function and some problems, how to find the derivative of the implicit functions we have worked out in the earlier session. So, in today's session also I am going to work out some problems. All of them are implicit function whose derivatives I am going to calculate. Now, what is the procedure we have adopted? An implicit function means a function in which y is not clearly expressed in terms of x. So, here both x and y terms would be mixed up in all the terms here. So, the procedure is you have to differentiate each and every term with respect to x, and then some terms, whichever terms are containing dy by dx as a factor, take out the common factor, and then finally rearranging the terms. Now, we can get the derivative of y with respect to x. In other words, we will be getting the value of dy by dx. So, some problems we have worked out in the earlier session. Now, I am going to work out the remaining problems. So, here the common instruction is find dy by dx or differentiate y with respect to x. The first problem is xy plus y square, xy plus y square is equal to tan x plus y. Tan x plus y. So, here you observe 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 terms, 2 on the left hand side, 2 on the right hand side. Here xy means, see, this is containing y, this is containing y, this is containing y. So, when you differentiate, on the whole you will be having 3 terms having dy by dx as a factor. Then you have to combine them and then we can get the value. For this one you have to apply the product rule because it is in the form of a product. Y square you have to apply the chain rule because it is a composite function. These two basic functions you can directly differentiate. So, right here differentiate with respect to x, differentiate with respect to x. Okay. So, here I told you apply the product rule. First function x into derivative of y is dy by dx plus second function y into derivative of x is 1, that is over. Come to the second function, y square becomes 2y, for y it is dy by dx. So, that is also over. To the right hand side, tan x has the derivative secant square x, for y it is again dy by dx. So, the differentiation part is over. Now, we have to group the terms. Now, look this one and this one. So, 3 terms are having dy by dx as a factor. What is the remaining term here? Shift y to the right hand side, take this to the left hand side. That is, we are having x into dy by dx plus this I am writing 2y into dy by dx, and dy by dx when you take to the left hand side becomes minus of dy by dx. And what is remaining on the right hand side, it is secant square x and plus y becomes minus y. First step. Now, take dy by dx as a common factor. It is dy by dx into what is remaining? X is remaining, here 2y and here it is 1, minus 1, and this is secant square x minus y. So, our problem is to get the value of dy by dx. Therefore, you write dy by dx would be equal to, write the right hand side, secant square x minus y divided by, write the coefficient, that is x plus 2y minus 1. So, this is the derivative of the function. So, here you observe it is containing y, this is containing y, this is containing y. So, 3 terms were having y as a part of the function. So, differentiating each term with respect to x, we could get so many terms here. So, taking those terms containing dy by dx as a factor, shifting the other terms to the right hand side and taking out the common factor, and then finally rearranging, we get the derivative of the function. It is secant square x minus y whole thing divided by x plus 2y minus 1. So, this is the derivative of the function. Now, let me move on to the second problem. In this one, the function is like this, x plus sine of xy minus y equal to 0, or sometimes this y may be given on the right hand side also. Look here. See each function which I am giving you little bit different. Here simply we had xy, I am taking sine of xy. So there xy you have to apply the product rule. Here it is sine of xy means it is a composite function. So you have to apply the chain rule. So this can be easily differentiated and this can be, because they are simple functions. Here sine of xy becomes cos of xy, and again xy has to be differentiated. Again for that you have to apply the product rule. So chain rule and then the product rule. Here these two can be directly differentiated. So write differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate with respect to x. So x becomes 1 plus, here it is sine of xy. Let me write it as cos of xy. Okay. So one part is over. Sine function I have taken into consideration. Now xy is remaining. For xy, write always inside the bracket, because we are applying the product rule means there would be two terms there. First function x into derivative of the second, it is dy by dx. Second function y into derivative of x is 1. Close the bracket, because there are two terms, both of them have to be multiplied by this term. That is why the bracket is necessary. Minus y becomes dy by dx. That would be equal to 0. So look here, how many terms are containing dy by dx? This into this one term and dy by dx, which are free from that one. This is 1 and cos xy into y. So those two terms are not containing dy by dx. So altogether there are 4 terms here. First let me multiply this one. See, that is why I am repeatedly telling, whenever there are either a negative sign is there, write inside the bracket, or when more than one term would be there, write inside the bracket, because whatever quantity is outside should be multiplied by both the terms which are inside, or more than 2 terms also will be there. So many students don't write the bracket, so they multiply only this one and forget that one, so that the answer would be wrong. You don't get any mark for that one. So be careful about that. So remove the bracket here, 1 plus cos xy into x into dy by dx. So let me write in the proper order, x into cos xy into dy by dx. Next, cos xy into y, that is y into cos of xy, that is over, minus dy by dx would be equal to 0. Okay. Now this term, that is this one and this one, this one and the last one containing dy by dx, retain them on the left hand side, shift the other two terms, that is one is this one and the other is this one, to the right hand side. So let me consider, take out the common factor here, take the common factor dy by dx from the two terms which I have underlined. What is remaining? X into cos of xy, okay, dy by dx minus 1, that is the coefficient. Now shift the other term, 1 becomes minus 1, y into cos xy becomes minus y into cos of xy. Now here we cannot do any simplification here, therefore you can write the value of dy by dx to be minus 1 minus y into cos of xy whole thing divided by x into cos of xy minus 1. So this is the derivative of the function. Of course, from the numerator, if you want, you can take out that minus sign and write both the terms to be positive. Even if you stop here, you get the mark for that one. So this is the procedure. So there may be any number of terms, there may be any type of combination of the functions, but differentiate each term carefully and apply the appropriate rule, product rule, quotient rule, chain rule, whichever rule is applicable, whichever may be the function that has been given to you, you have to differentiate each term and then arrive at the result. Now the next problem is, of course here we get more number of terms containing dy by dx as a factor. Carefully let us solve. X cube plus x square y plus x into y square plus y cube is equal to 81. Be careful. Now this problem, be careful to differentiate, because here this term and this term, the second and the third terms, they are having product. So you have to apply the product rule for both of them. These two individually can be differentiated. The right hand side being a constant becomes 0. Okay. So let us differentiate. Differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate with respect to x. So x cube, carefully you do this one, x cube becomes 3x square. Now here again in the previous session also I told all of them are positive, the brackets are not necessary, but still to show that we are considering one particular set of terms, I am just writing inside the bracket, need not be written. When minus sign is there you have to write. Here it is optional. First function, I am applying the product rule. First function x square into y becomes dy by dx plus second function y into derivative of x square is 2x. Okay, just to show that they are the derivative, these two are the derivative of the function. Similarly, here apply the product rule. Here it is different because x first function into y square, we are differentiating with respect to x here. So y square becomes, it is a composite function. Y means simple, y square means composite. X into y square becomes 2y and y becomes dy by dx. Don't forget to write this one. Okay, otherwise the answer would be wrong. Plus second function, that is y square into derivative of x is 1. Now we come to the last one, y cube, again a composite function, 3y square into dy by dx would be equal to 0. Okay. So there were 4 terms in the function on the left hand side. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 terms, because the middle 2 terms now were in the form of a product. Therefore, when you apply the product rule, 2 terms we will be getting and the other 2 terms, totally there are 6 terms. Let us see which are the terms containing dy by dx as a factor. First one, second one and third one. So shift or keep all of them on the left hand side and shift the other 3 terms which do not contain dy by dx, this one and this one, to the right hand side. Then you can rearrange the terms and get the result. Let me write properly, that is 3x square plus x square into dy by dx plus 2xy. I am writing in a proper order, that is all. Here it is 2xy into dy by dx plus y square plus 3y square into dy by dx would be equal to 0. Now what are the terms, which are the terms that are containing dy by dx? This one and this one. So I have underlined them. So let me take out the common factor dy by dx. What is remaining? Here we are having x square, 2xy and there it is 3y square. So that is over, isn't it? We have taken dy by dx as a factor, common factor. We have written the remaining terms here. Now what are the other terms which do not contain dy by dx? This is 1 and this is 1, this is the third one. Let me shift all of them to the right hand side. All of them are positive, so they become negative. It becomes minus 3x square and this is minus 2xy and this is minus y square. Now you cannot do any simplification here because we do not have any common factor, isn't it? So just write, therefore you can write dy by dx would be equal to again, as in the previous problem, I told you, you can, if you want, you can take out the minus sign as common factor, or you can keep the all the terms to be negative as it is. It doesn't make any difference. Now, minus 3x square minus 2xy minus y square. If you take out the minus sign, the presentation will be neat, that's all. Divided by x square plus 2xy plus 3y square. And many students do one thing, they cancel this 2xy. Please don't do that one, it is not possible. If that were to be a single term, you can do the cancellation. We are having expression here, we are having an expression, because many students have that habit. Whenever they see some common terms in numerator, denominator, without bothering how they are given in the problem, they do the cancellation. Don't do that one. See, x square or y square or xy, nothing can be cancelled here. So this is the answer here. Minus of 3x square plus 2xy plus y square, or you can write minus 3x square minus 2xy minus y square, whole thing divided by x square plus 2xy plus 3y square. That's the value of dy by dx. So this is how you have to calculate the derivative. Now, let me consider another problem. Here this problem is comparatively easier, next one, and answer also we are getting in a very simple way. Sin square x plus cos square y is equal to 1, equal to 1. Here it is an implicit function, no doubt, but you observe there are only two terms are there, isn't it? One is sin square x, the other is cos square y. This is a term containing x, so that is the only term containing y. That means that we get dy by dx only in one place, and no product rule here, but both of them are composite functions. So composite function means you have to apply the chain rule. Okay. So let me differentiate here. Differentiate with respect to x. Differentiate with respect to x. Now here we have to apply the chain rule. Sin square x means it is sin x the whole square. So I told you, if the function is having the power other than 1, first preference should be given to the power. So sin square x becomes 2 into sin x. So the power part is over. Now sin x has the derivative cos x. So this is over. Come to the second one. The same rule is applicable. Cos square y becomes 2 into cos y. But cos y also has to be differentiated, whose derivative is minus sin y. So this is what I told you. Whenever you have a minus sign, better write inside the bracket, because you are multiplying. If you don't write the bracket here, you will write it as 2 cos y minus sin y. Instead of product, you will be writing it as a difference. So it would be wrong. So cos square y becomes 2 cos y. Cos y becomes minus sin y. But y also has to be differentiated, whose derivative is dy by dx, right hand side being a constant, is equal to 0. Now let us shift, see, that is the only term having dy by dx. So shift it to the right hand side. That would be minus 2, I am writing in a proper order, minus 2 sin y into cos y into dy by dx would be equal to, when you shift this term to the right hand side, the plus sign would be changed over to minus sign. It is minus 2 sin x into cos x. See, don't cancel this 2, you can just cancel only the minus sign here. Why I am not cancelling here 2 is, observe here 2 sin x into cos x. The answer could be written in a simplified form. Now you know the formula, sin 2 theta is 2 sin theta into cos theta, which is called as a multiple angle, which you learnt in a first year PUC trigonometry you have studied. So I am making use of that result here. Same thing here, in here y, there x we are having. So this can be written as sin of 2y into dy by dx. Similarly, this is sin of 2x. Okay, so same formula I am applying, whereas the variables are different. There x, it is y. Therefore, we are having dy by dx to be sine of 2x divided by sine of 2y. Now finally we get the derivative to be in this particular form, that is it is sine of 2. So I am using the multiple angle form. If I had cancelled that to 2, you cannot use a multiple angle formula, that is why I retained 2 and cancelled only the negative sign here. So this would be equal to sine 2x divided by sine of 2y. Now the next problem, it is a repeated problem in the examination, and it's an interesting problem, I can say. I'm not saying important because sometimes it is asked in the, not in all the examination, but the problem is because the answer is expected in a particular way. They have asked you to prove certain result, that is you have to show dy by dx equal to some particular answer. See, simply finding dy by dx as it is, we differentiate and arrange the terms as we have done in all the earlier problems. But in this particular problem, a function is given and a particular answer is expected for dy by dx. So that can be done, not after differentiation also it can be done. But if you think a little bit and arrange the function in the beginning itself, it's easy to get the answer directly. If you don't do that one, no, if you differentiate then try to get that result, you can get the result, but it would be difficult. You have to think a lot. If you arrange the function in the beginning only, it's easier to get the result. Let me give you the problem first. If cos of y is equal to x into cos of a plus y. Of course, a is a constant here, and one more condition is given. Cos a is not equal to plus or minus 1. This condition is not always given, but if it is given you can take, that is a being a constant here, cos of a does not take the value either plus 1 or minus 1. Then you have to prove that dy by dx is equal to cos square of a plus y divided by sin a. Now this is the answer that is expected. See, the same problem can also be given, because even that way also it has been asked. Instead of giving cos y and cos of a plus y, the function may contain if sin y equal to x into sin of a plus y. A, y, x will be there, only the ratio would be different. That is sin y equal to x into sin of a plus y. In the answer, in the denominator we will be having sin a, numerator would be sin square of a plus y. Whether sin is involved or cos is involved, the method that I am going to teach you is same. Okay. Now, always whenever a particular answer is expected, that is like they prove that this is equal to that, it is always easier to solve the problem, because we will be knowing the answer beforehand, so that we can rearrange you can try to get that particular result. Otherwise, you have to think here, of course, to get the particular answer, that always gives you a clue. When the answer is already known to you, it gives a hint to you how to start that one. Now look at the answer here, dy by dx equal to some square term is there. Of course, it is in the numerator, some square term is there. Now, which formula if you apply, you will be getting the square term. Think a little bit. See, when you have a function in the form of a quotient, do you remember? I hope remember, if the function is u by v, a quotient, how do you write that one? It is v into u dash, denominator into derivative of the numerator, minus u into v dash, numerator into derivative of the denominator, whole thing divided by v square, square of the denominator. So, the square of a particular type comes only when the given function is in the form of a quotient. Because it is given like this, that gives us an idea how the function could be rewritten. That means here we have a product here, not a quotient. So what I do is, see cos of a plus y, but I should get cos square of a plus y. So if this is in the denominator position, when you apply the quotient rule, automatically we get the square of the denominator. So this is how you have to think. Okay, when a particular answer is expected, on these lines you have to think. So write like this, given xy. Now what I do is, I write it that in the form of a quotient, where this goes to the denominator position, that is x is equal to cos y divided by cos of a plus y. Cos y divided by cos of a plus y. Observe here, we got a quotient, isn't it? Now, another thing you should observe. In all the earlier problems, it may be implicit function, it is an implicit function or explicit. Always we have differentiated the given function with respect to x, isn't it? That means we have always differentiated with respect to x. Y is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable. We always differentiate with respect to the independent variable. That means we try to get dy by dx. Whereas here, here also you can do the same thing. You can differentiate with respect to x only. But to make it simpler and easier, what I do is here, differentiate. Only in this problem only I am doing, that's all. Differentiate with respect to y. Differentiate with respect to y. Look here, what happens? Here x becomes dx by dy. Just to get that one I am trying. Otherwise, on the right hand side you will be getting dy by dx in two places. So to avoid that one, I have written the given function in a different way in the form of a quotient. First step. Second step is, I am differentiating with respect to not x, with respect to y. So what happens to x here? If you differentiate with respect to x, here I have to write 1. I am writing this as dx by dy. Remember, we are differentiating with respect to y here. With respect to x means x becomes 1. With respect to y means y becomes 1, like that. Okay. Here x is the dependent variable, y is the independent variable. Now apply the quotient rule. Denominator, that is cos of a plus y into derivative of the numerator. Cos y becomes minus sin y. For y, don't write dy by dx here. Y it is 1 because we are differentiating with respect to y here. Then minus numerator. What is the numerator? Cos y into derivative of the denominator. So here again cos we are having minus sin of a plus y into, for a being a constant, 0, for y it is 1. Then whole thing divided by the square of the denominator, cos square of a plus y. See, this we wanted in the answer, it came into picture here. Afterwards, arranging the terms, you certainly can get the required result. Now, let me write the numerator in the proper order, multiplying by the proper sign. So, left hand side is dx by dy, and denominator of the right hand side. First I am writing, it is cos square of a plus y. Now, look at the terms here. Minus sin y into cos of a plus y, minus of minus plus cos y into sin of a plus y. First let me write as it is, then I can write in the proper order. Minus cos of a plus y into sin y, minus of minus plus sin of a plus y into cos y. Okay. Now, I'll write that positive term first so that you can understand it clearly. That is positive, I am writing first sin a plus y into cos y minus cos of a plus y into sin y. Whole thing divided by cos square of a plus y. Cos square of a plus y. Now, look at the numerator. Which formula does it resemble? Sin of A into cos of B minus cos of A into sin of B. What is that equal to? Sin of A minus B. You have learnt about the compound angle formula. Sin A minus B, the expansion being sin A into cos B minus cos A into sin B. In the place of A, it is A plus Y. In the place of B, it is simply Y. So, this is equal to sin of A minus B. A plus Y minus Y. Okay, because it resembles the formula sin A into cos B and minus cos A into sin B. Whole thing divided by cos square of A plus Y. Now, plus Y minus Y, they get cancelled. But all these, now it is equal to dx by dy. But what we wanted dy by dx. And what is remaining? Sin A and cos square, right? One more step here. It is sin A divided by cos square of A plus Y. Now what was the answer we wanted? We wanted dy by dx. So what you have to do? Take the reciprocal. Dx by dy will become dy by dx. Numerator and denominator, they get interchanged. So you write it as cos square of A plus Y whole thing divided by sin A. Okay. So this is how you have to get the result. Now it is an interesting problem, I can say. So go through it properly. Now this is how we have to solve. I told you some in one examination it was given like this. If sin y equal to x into sin of A plus y, show that dy by dx equal to sin square A plus y divided by sin A. The denominator is fixed here. Same thing you will be getting. So by chance it is given in that form also, you can get the result because I mean the method is same, only the function would be different. So these are the problems I could take up in this particular session. So in the next session also, I just want to work out some more problems on implicit function and then want to conclude that particular topic of differential calculus. Thank you.